After the Chuseok holiday, our ACT class on AI-based critical and decision-making course began a project where each team had to build its own AI system. Since our team did not have much experience with machine learning, I naturally became the developer as I was the most familiar with AI concepts. My teammates asked me to create a website that implemented three AI models, taking on the role of the developer. I began studying machine learning and deep learning more seriously. I watched MIT lectures and explored resources from Keras, Hugging Face, and GitHub to understand how to implement the models properly. As time passed, I became the only person who could handle the models and work within the local development environment. This led to me taking on almost all of the technical workload by myself. According to the elo of self-awareness, I begin by using metacognition to break down this case into what I knew about artificial intelligence before and after the project. Before we started, my identity was more like an aspiring developer. I love coding and animation, two areas that motivated me, but did not necessarily give me the skills to build AI models. At the time, I didn't know how to write a single line of Python, and my understanding of AI was not so different from anyone who casually followed tech or oversees stock trends. After the project began, however, I learned to code, analyze architectures, build simple models, and even train and deploy them on my own computer. Through this experience, I now see myself as a beginner developer, someone who has taken the first step but is far from being an AI engineer. I also recognize my limitations. Real AI engineers can build models by flexibly using libraries such as Keras, Hugging Face, and PyTorch. What I did was mainly following tutorials, modifying code to fit my needs, and assembling models rather than designing them from scratch. Because of that, I cannot claim that the models I built were fully original, which I now understand is a core expectation in AI engineering. For the future, I hope to develop my own model with an original architecture, rather than relying only on widely used structures like transformers or vision transformers. For the elo of behavior explanation, I analyzed why I ended up taking on the AI development by myself and what internal and external factors influenced my actions. Internally, I believed that the project would be faster and more accurate if I handled the technical work alone. I also felt pressure to deliver a high quality outcome, which pushed me to take control instead of relying on others. In addition, I had confidence, perhaps even overconfidence, in my ability to manage the workload on my own. Externally, I perceived that my teammates and had limited experience with AI, which led me to assume that collaboration would slow us down. The approaching deadline added even more pressure, making individual work seem more efficient than dividing tasks among the team. Looking back, I now question whether working alone was truly the best choice for the team's learning, development, and overall project quality. My behavior was not solely based on personal performance. It was the result of both internal motivations and external constraints interacting together. For the elo of responsibility, I reflected on how much ownership I took during the project and whether that responsibility was balanced with the team. Since I handled most of the technical development on my own, I naturally carried a large portion of the responsibility for the AI component. However, I realized that responsibility in a team project is not only about producing results. It also includes sharing the process, communicating decisions, and ensuring that every team member has the opportunity to contribute. By taking on too much work, I unintentionally limited my teammates' chances to learn or participate in technical tasks. While my intention was to make the project run smoothly, this imbalance created a dependency that was not ideal for teamwork. In the future, I recognize that I need to communicate my limits more clearly, ask for support when necessary, and create an environment where responsibility is distributed rather than concentrated. From the perspective of the complex systems allo, I evaluated how my behavior interacted with the different levels of the system I was part of. On the individual level, my personal learning style, confidence, and desire for efficiency shaped how I approached the project. At the team level, the absence of clear role distribution and communication loops allowed the workload to concentrate around one person, me, rather than being spread evenly. On the institutional level, the course expectations emphasize collaborative learning, shared workload, and developing teamwork skills, which means the system itself assumes cooperation rather than individual systems. Seeing the situation through this system's lens helped me understand that my actions were not just personal choices, but also responses to how the larger system was structured. To function effectively, a team needs more modular roles, consistent communication, and balanced responsibility. Without these structures, the system naturally becomes fragile. Relying too heavily on one member, this experience showed me that strengthening the team system is just as important as improving individual skills. Based on this reflection, the key advice I would give myself is prioritize structured collaboration over individual efficiency. Even if I can complete tasks faster alone, teamwork acquires creating shared understanding and shared responsibility. To put this into the action, I plan to set clear rule agreements as at the beginning of future projects, hold regular check-ins to exchange progress and redistribute tasks as needed, communicate my workload and limits honestly, and encourage teammates to participate in technical work even if it means taking extra time to explain our guide to them. By following these steps, I can interact more effectively with others, contribute to a healthier team system, and strengthen my leadership and teamwork skills. Thank you.